Hi Debbie, Jeremy here. I thought it might be easier to send you a video reply rather than typing a reply. It'll help maybe give a bit of context and have a bit more meaning behind it than just a written email. Really awesome news that you've been having some success using the cards with different teams and been bringing teams together to define or map the emotional culture of that team. Really good question that you've asked about how we integrate new team members once they've already gone through the process, because that does happen a lot, and more people are asking me those sorts of questions. And I think your original thinking here in the email you shared with me is probably right. It might seem cumbersome and maybe create some cynicism from people if just because a couple of new people have joined the team that you go through it all over again through the whole process. And if it were me leading the team and we had some new people join, I wouldn't go through the whole process again, because the existing team members have worked together to define what's really important to them and their team. Now the trick as new people join is to bring them into that team and help them understand what the existing team has come up with and why they've decided the 5 things are the things they want to feel are really important to them, and the things that they don't want to feel but they might, why those things are really important. So I think a discussion as a team with those new members is a really important one, but I definitely would start by introducing the new team members to the concept and get them to go through the gold cards. So imagine when those new people join the team that you could sit down with them, or a couple of the team even, the biggest advocates in the team could sit down and play the game with those new team members and find out from those new team members what they'd like to feel or not feel in their work. So then you have 2 things happening. You have the new team members being introduced to the concept of emotional culture and sharing what's important with the current team, but you also then have them go through the process of defining what's important to them as an individual. So your new team members are learning about the existing team, and the existing team members are learning about the new team members, vice versa. So I think keep it really simple and get those new team members together. So let's say there's 2 or 3 of them. Get them together with 2 or 3 or 2 of the most or the biggest advocates in the team of the process already, and get them to take the new team members through the process. I think that would be a really cool way to introduce them, as I said, to the concept and help each other learn about each other. I think induction is a really underrated moment to be using the emotional culture deck. Some of the teams that are having really amazing success are using it in that first week or first 2 weeks, and the managers or the informal leaders within the team are sitting down and taking new team members through the game and asking them, what do you want to feel and not feel in our team or in work now that you've joined us. And it's a really powerful moment, rather than just going through the strategy of the team or just going through the hygiene onboarding stuff. You're actually sitting down and having a human-to-human interaction about what's important to them and learning about that person, so both the leader and other people in the team can help create an environment and help work with them to feel the pleasant things and help them manage and cope when they're feeling the unpleasant things. But this is a great way to find out those things from the outset of that person joining the team. So I hope that makes sense. I think, as you've said in your email, don't go through the whole team process again, because that might become cumbersome and you've worked so hard to define that. It's now about integrating the new people into that existing environment, helping them understand why that exists and what's important to the team, but then helping the existing team learn more about the new people, what they want to feel and not feel, and why, and what their triggers are. And I think that's a really simple way to introduce them into the environment and introduce the concept. In terms of bringing the team together in an ongoing manner, there's a couple of ways that I've seen recently that I thought were really, really cool from a couple of teams. Is that one particular team on a monthly basis, they get together as a full team. So this was a team of 20. And now they'd already gone through the exercise as a team of 20 to find what they would like to feel and not feel as a team. And now on a monthly basis, they get together and as a team, they vote on one of the feelings or emotions that they want to focus on for the upcoming month. And so, for instance, a team, let's say, inspired was on the list of the 5 things they felt their success relied on as a team. They might vote on inspired as the thing they want to focus on for the upcoming month. And as a team, they get together and come up with 1 or 2 or 3 different small experiments they're going to run this upcoming month to help them feel more inspired, that they can do as a team throughout the month. And then at the end of the month, they get back together for their team session again to recap what they tried that month to help them feel more inspired as a team, and then decide on if they're going to continue to do that or those things that they'd come up with. And then they pick another emotion to then focus on for the upcoming month. That way, on a monthly basis, they're putting their attention on specific feelings that they've decided are important to them and keep the conversation alive. And my biggest piece of advice for teams on an ongoing basis is to come up with small ideas. Challenge your team to come up with small things that will make a big impact. So not revolutionary things that are going to require lots of money or lots of time or lots of resource to put in place, but challenge your team to come up with small things that they can do as a team that will help reinforce the things they want to feel, or small things they can do as a team to help them manage and cope with the things that they don't want to feel, and restrict them to coming up with small rituals or small actions or small mechanisms that will have a disproportionate impact. And that way you can experiment with 2 or 3 small things for that month and then come back and then recap how those things went and decide to continue with those experiments, put them in place permanently, or now focus on a different emotion and come up with some different experiments. That's the coolest way I've seen various teams talking about these things on an ongoing basis. And it's a really nice way to introduce new team members into that environment and to have the conversation, because if a team member joins halfway through that month, in 2 weeks' time they'll have their first team session where you're going to recap what's important to the team and what we don't want to feel as a team, and they'll be part of that conversation to come up with experiments for the next month.